There, there we are.
It really sucks, I guess, when you're
on
the
my
music
channel?
and then you forget. Yeah. Well, hey, welcome everyone to Notes from the Editors, a show where we forget to pull ourselves on screen and actually start the show.
What's up, y'all?
Oh boy, I'm your host, Eric from 9 Panel Grid, and I'm joined as always with Stu from Dr. Doom's fan club. Stu, man, hopefully you're doing better than me today, man, because it's starting rough already.
I'm doing great, bro. I'm doing great. It's all right, man. That's part of the gig, right? Technical difficulties come with every live show, but usually you avoid them. But it's all good, man. Here we are. So glad to be with you. I know we're doing a news roundup tonight. A lot of things to cover, so I'm happy to get into it with you. But dude, you went to a dope little show. You got to meet one of my favorite writers, one of the best dudes in the game, Rick Remender, this past week when you went to the Cape and Cowl Con. Tell the people to tell me about it. Tell me about your experience meeting Rick. Other creators. How was it, man? Because I know you. Obviously we went to Heroes together, but I don't. Heroes is about the only con I do. But this was your first one since then. So yeah, how was that experience? I'm curious to know.
Dude, okay, so you said you went to this little con, and that's kind of what I anticipated. I was just like, it's going to be real low key. It's going to be chill. It's put on by a local comic shop, so it's not going to be a crazy thing. It's going to be kind of just nice. I could bring the family and not worry too much or anything like that. No, little does not begin to describe what is Cape and Cowl Con. It was fantastic. For those who don't know, Cape and Cowl is a comic shop out of Oakland, California, and they previously, in fact, it was just in 2024, they were the Eisner Award-winning local comic book store.
Yeah, great online sales too, y'all. I got the Murder Falcon ash can from them on a IG claim sale. Like I know Nick has bought from them all the time.
Oh yeah, and Nick is putting me to shame out here. He's just like, I mean, I go into the shop and they're like, this kid from Tennessee just keeps buying all this stuff. I'm like, dang, he did it to me again, stealing West Coast books. Jesus, but
it's terrible.
Really fantastic store. They do a lot for the community. They do a lot for obviously the collectors. They have a collector focus for the books that they put out there. They really try to get people reading these stories, which means that they have a great graphic novel section, trade paperback, hardcovers. Like they put the stories on the forefront first and foremost. They also partner with like a bunch of different local artists and like local companies to put these kind of things on. And they came out guns blazing this time. So from what I understand, I think this is like maybe the second or third year that they've done it, but this is the biggest version that they did it for. They partnered with a brewery, Faction Brewery, out of, again, just Alameda, California, and the brewery was just like the full location for the entire convention. So like, was it Heroes Con big? No, but it was like, I don't know, maybe 1/3 of Heroes Con. Like, for those of you that have been to Heroes Con, if you've ever kind of been to that corner, that little L, the end of the L, that's basically what Cape and Cowl Con's size was. So they had vendors there, they had artists, they had a huge array of people there, which was really exciting. But the featured guest, the first one that popped off was Rick Remender. And like, as soon as that name was announced, I knew I was going without a shadow of a doubt. There was no stopping me from hitting that up. Rick Remender, like you said, one of my absolute favorite creators, one of my favorite writers. I'm hard pressed to say if there's something that I've read from him that I didn't enjoy from one facet to another. Yeah, like just killer lineup of things. But here I'm looking over the people that were there. We got Rick Remender. We got Andrew McLean, the writer-artist of books like Headlopper. Snarlagon came out recently. He's working on a couple different projects right now. Jesse Hernandez, Maria Wolf, these awesome variant cover artists. Let's see here. Jonathan Wayshak, we saw him over at Heroes Con. He just
nice.
Cul-de-sac,
yeah.
Yeah, Patton Oswalt was going to be there. He had to cancel at the last second. So that was a bummer. That would have been really cool to see him. But with Rick Remender, here was the cool thing. With Rick Remender, we also got Brian Posehn that was there. Brian Posehn, the other author of the book that just recently came out, Grommets. On top of that, we had Brett Parson that was there, the artist of Grommets.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious, dude. So we're there, and my kid is kind of staying by my side because it was a family affair. And so my wife is off doing her own thing. It's at a brewery, so there's like food trucks. It's just like a really chill vibe. It's a good time. And she's off doing her thing, and me and my kid are standing in line. We're talking to Brett, we're talking to Brian, and we're talking to Rick and all that kind of stuff. And we meet back up with my wife, and she's hanging out and she's chilling. And she's like, "You won't believe what happened to me." And I'm like, "What happened? What are you talking about?" She's like, "You remember that show Just Shoot Me?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think I dug that show." She's like, "You remember that big bald like comedian dude that was on there?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "I totally just like ran into that dude." Like, I'm like, "Yeah, that's Brian Posehn. I was just in his line right over there." She's like, "What? The Just Shoot Me guy?" I'm like, "Yeah." It's great. It was just wild. It was so crazy. Like,
That's awesome.
yeah, like my wife was like, "Yeah, I recognize that guy. I bumped into him on accident. I had to apologize to him."
Oh yeah.
But David Brothers was there as well. He just recently had a book that came out with Chip Zdarsky. He's got a one shot that's coming out with Nick Dragotta pretty soon. Chris Cantwell was there. Anyway,
Chris Cantwell, yes.
yeah, if this sounds like a small con to you, wow. I mean, like this ain't small con energy at all whatsoever. Jerry Duggan, there's another name, DB Andre. Sorry, I'm just going down the list now, and I'm like, man, this was legit crazy. So I was there for Rick Remender though, and it was a family affair, so I couldn't treat this like Heroes Con. We couldn't go buck nutty up in there and spend all day in line after line after line. So I had to prioritize. So I'm gonna show off a couple different things here, and if you're on the Patreon, you already got a sneak peek at some of this stuff. But I wanted to show off some of the things that I was able to get done here.
Let's
So
get it. Let's get it.
First and foremost,
Yo,
I got dude. Okay, here was the hard thing. It's local, right? So I didn't have to fly anywhere. I didn't have to really think too hard about what to get or what to bring with me. But I had to at least prioritize. I'm not a freaking, I couldn't bring everything. So I'm like, what am I going to bring with me? First and foremost, my Deadly Class hardcover, man. And Rick was gracious as heck, man. So I get up there and I'm chatting it up with him, and like I have to ask him, like, "Hey, is there a limit, man? Like, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to bring the radio flyer full of books and be a jerk or whatever." He's like, "No, man, no, we're all good. Let's roll with this, man. We're chatting it up here." He's from the Bay Area, so he's talking about how great it is to be back in the area. But goes ahead, signs, my Deadly Class Volume 1 hardcover, does the little remark of Marcus there for me, because for those who don't know, we all know Rick Remender is a writer, but he was working on art previously. He's got some ink credits there for Marvel as well. So I got my Deadly Class signed. Little history for me and my comic book journey, the book that got me back into collecting, and we talked about this a little bit on one of the previous episodes, went into what is now my my personal LCS, the one I hit up all the time, every Wednesday to get my books. And I went in there and I said, "Hey, Rick Remender is like the last real like awesome writer that I remember." So that's kind of what I'm into. And the dude slaps 7 to Eternity, the very first volume trade paperback, in my hand. He's like, "You're gonna love this. Read this." I've been going to the shop ever since, right? So
great recommendation. Shout out to that dude.
Yes. So it was only right. The book that got me back into collecting in the way that I'm doing right now, I had to get 7 to Eternity signed. So I brought that puppy with me.
Bro, that deluxe edition cover is so sick.
Yes. Dude, and you
God,
should see.
That is gorgeous.
And there's some variants of that as well that are out there too that look, equally awesome. Yeah. So I had a great time, got that signed. Because the whole team was there as well, the Cape and Cowl, they do a really good job at getting like exclusives, right? So they will work with, like, Maria Wolf had all of these Ninja Turtle variants that were exclusive to the shop. That, by the way, like, if you don't know Maria Wolf, like, you better know. Go check her out on IG. But she does a lot of like store variants as well, and she had some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle store variants that were out of this world, man. They were so good. I couldn't pick them up, but I couldn't pick them up because Brett Parsons did a store exclusive cover for the Grommets trade paperback. You can see the Cape and Cowl logo in the background. There's the kids skate by it. It was way too dope to turn down. It was way too dope. So considering the entire team was there, I got Brett to sign it. I got Rick. I got Brian. It was amazing. We got the book plate signed as well here, so I could slap that on a nice little hardcover if that ever comes out. Amazing stuff here. On top of that, though, we all know we've read Grommets, we've reviewed it. I picked that up at the con here, but I had to get the trio of people to sign issue number 1 for me. Brett, Rick, Brian, issue number 1 of Grommets. Such a cool book. And they had again, we talked about store exclusives. I got the Cape and Cowl exclusive for Escape number 1 signed by Rick as well. So it was definitely a remender kind of day for me. And I got to say, everyone else kind of had that same plan as well. So me and my kid were standing in line for quite a while waiting for him. We were early, but like the dude was gracious, right? And that's like, I think we talked about like Daniel Warren Johnson kind of being like the trendsetter at Heroes Con, like being that con guy that just gives, he kicks things off right, man. And he sits there and he has a conversation with you. Let me tell you, all 3 of these guys, but Rick in particular, was absolutely the same way, man. We were sitting there chatting it up. We were talking about all these kind of things. My kid was by my side, so I got to be like, this is my kid's first con, man. Like, this is like, that's how much of an experience this is. So my kid was excited, man. Like we were all feeding off each other, man. He was pumped for us. I got to ask the question that that's been boggling my mind this entire time, though. And actually, I got to talk to Brian about this. So one of the things when the finale for Grommets came out, I made the embarrassing admission that I did not realize that the main characters in the book's names were Rick and Brian. Very clearly supposed to be Rick Remender and Brian Posehn. And I was like, Brian, dude, I have to know. The way that this story ended, is it true? Is that the way that life actually worked out? And like, did you guys know each other in childhood and serendipitously like moved to Phoenix at the same time? And I was a little bit heartbroken. It's more of an amalgamation of the experiences they had independently through childhood. Yeah. Brian did live in Phoenix at the time. Rick clearly from the Bay Area at the time. So they kind of just like, smashed their experiences together. They didn't meet until later on in life when they were both, in the biz already and stuff like that. But at least I can put that one to bed. The research has been done. The story's been had. We know that this isn't exactly the way their childhoods work, but kudos to that team for really delivering.
Yeah, you should have been like, cool. Well, I'm going to tell people you guys were friends.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Anyway, I'm going to lie.
Like, I'm going to go ahead and keep the story going in my head. Yeah.
Dude, that Daniel Acuna fucking Virgin variant.
Oh, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous, man. Hell yeah. That's awesome, dude. What an incredible experience.
Dude.
Just some of the best in the biz, low key. And I love that it's, like you said earlier, in a brewery. Like, dude, that's such a brilliant idea. I love that.
It was.
I would be in so much trouble financially.
It was amazing. It was amazing. It was like chocolate and peanut butter, man. 2 great tastes that go great together. Yeah. It's like, dude, you're just rolling around the con, just putting them down, like having a great time. You're walking around, right? And it's like, it's still a little bit warm out, so you're feeling good. And they have food trucks all around. It was great. It was absolutely great, man. Every con should aspire to have the vibe that this con did. If they do that, then and have the talent, everything else is secondary, man. You got your gold. Everything is going to be perfect. It was really cool talking to Brett Parson as well, and I learned a lot about him too. Like, I didn't have a lot of background on him and his history in comics. Like, Grommets was really the first thing, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I know I've seen his art somewhere else, and I couldn't put my finger on it, but I was chatting him up, and he apparently he was telling me like, yeah, I did Tank Girl in the past. I'm like, oh crap, like I didn't even know that. Like, I knew Jamie Hewlett, and I knew Mafood recently did some stuff, and I knew Ashley Wood did some stuff. He's like, yeah, I just did, I did like a humble 10-year run on it. I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. Shit. Yeah. I'm like, apologies. Like, listen, I suck. I'm the one that
I love
sucks
how
here.
he said humble 10-year run. That's so great. That's so great.
But like it's cool because like I think I've shown it off on. I think
I
it was
gotta
probably like
admit, I thought that character was dead. Like I thought that, yeah, like that character had that, flash in the pan when they first debuted, and then it was like the movie, and then it was crickets. I had no idea that somebody had a 10-year run on that book.
well, dude, we'll talk about it in a little bit. It's one of the news items that's coming out, but Titan owns the property of Tank Girl, or the licensing rights, I should say, to Tank Girl. They have a huge, epic monster set that they're coming out with it's going to basically be like, do you like Tank Girl? Do you need everything? Here you go. And I gotta say, I think I'm gonna get it, but we'll
Oh
get into
yeah,
that. Yeah,
that's
we'll
that's
get
good
into
for
that.
collecting it. I'm always for out of print books, or hard to find books getting a publishing spotlight. So
Heck yeah, heck yeah. And Tank Girl, come on. I mean, if you don't like Tank Girl, like, come on, what are you doing? What are you doing?
seriously,
Even the movie, like, I have a soft spot for. I think it was
same.
low key masterpiece. Just saying.
I don't know
But
if I'm ready to go that far, but I
that's why
definitely enjoyed it. I definitely
that's why I said low key. That's why I said low key. So yeah, so I had a great time. It was really cool hanging with the family as well, being in that environment. Obviously different, totally different than any other con I've been to, but a different in the best way possible. So shout out to Cape and Cowell Comics, shout out to Faction Brewery, all the great creators, man, and all the people that were volunteering there and the employees for Cape and Cowell, man. Y'all did it right. Like, no, without a shadow of a doubt. It was fantastic. It was just such a good experience, man. And like, yeah, just keep it going, man, because this was a special thing, and I will not miss one at all. You keep doing them, I'll keep coming.
That's awesome. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
good stuff.
All right. With that being said, that was my experience at Cape and Cowell. Check them out. Go check them out on IG. Check out their store. They got a great web store
Yes,
as
really
well.
do. Great sales. Yeah.
Yeah, supports all these LCSs, even if it's not your LCS here. But before we get any further here, let's go ahead and jump into the chat, because we got a lot of people hanging with us here that I
Yeah, man.
appreciate. Starting with numero uno here, Nick from Comic Culture saying, this poll feels like a personal attack. And Nick, it is, without
What's
a
the
shadow of a
poll?
doubt.
Am I missing
All right, so
something here?
the poll I dropped in the chat here was, for real though, how many Battle Beast blind bags did you purchase? And we got 0, we got 1 through 3, we got 4 through 6, and 7+. So far, surprisingly, 0 is in the lead with 71%, but we do have a couple people that are saying that they picked up 4 to 6 or 7+. So it's a little bit feast or famine right now. We're going to see how this plays out here. We'll let you know the stats by the end of the show. So, all right. We got, after Nick, we got Bob hanging with us here. Bob, great seeing you again, man. Thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. What's he saying? We got, I know you all got YouTube shows where we talk about your polls, Batman and Robin, JT3, Geiger, number 17, Dark Regards, which I've heard good things about, number 4, Absolute Martian Manhunter, the Riley Rossmo variant. Nice. Good stuff. What's on your poll this week, man? Did you have anything that jumped out to you immediately? Your mic may have gone out, bud, or my headphones have gone out. One or the other.
Sorry about that. Some of Bob's are definitely on my poll list. Robin and Batman is a Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen book, I believe.
Yes.
So I'm definitely here for that. Geiger is on there. Absolute Martian Manhunter for sure. I don't know. How about you? I haven't really looked at.
This is a heavy week. So, like, yeah, the ones that Bob is pointing out here, they're going to be on the poll. We got Absolute Wonder Woman, Beneath the Trees, issue number 2. I'm a Green Arrow fan. I'm picking up Green Arrow. Kaya, you already know. Lost Fantasies coming out, Minor Arcana, Ultimate Spider-Man. Those are the big ones here. The thing that really jumps out at me and has my interest, though, is Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips with a criminal new original story. The Knives coming out. Yes.
Let's go, dog. All day.
Yes.
Also, Invisible Man, number 1 from what is
yes.
it? Dan Waters and
Danny.
Danny, yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. Yeah, you're right. It is a stack week, man. Lost Fantasy, You'll Do Bad Things.
Mm-hmm.
So many great books. It's just one of those books and one of those weeks in the rotation where it feels like you go from those weeks where you feel like you're anemic, you're starving, right? And then you just get buried in goodness. So good problems
Yes.
to have, though.
Yeah, I'll take this week. I'm gonna have fun with this week, man.
Absolutely, bro.
We got Pete hanging with us, man. Pete, nice
What up,
seeing
Pete?
you.
Oh yeah.
We got the previous giveaway winner, Near Zero, man. I heard you got your books, man. I hope you enjoy them.
Congrats.
I hope you like what you got, man. So congrats again here.
It's promotion time.
Yes, nice seeing you.
Oh yeah, thanks for coming through.
Omega hanging with us, man. Fact checker extraordinaire, Omega here.
Oh yeah.
Let's see what. We got Simpleton saying the hard truths here. Still sitting on the fence about seeing Remender. Yes, so tired of driving to Annapolis. Yeah, dude, we've seen the signatures that you're putting in these deluxe hardcovers that you're putting out, man. So you're not fooling us anymore. No more, Simpleton.
Well, we need video of these interactions, dude. I want to see these creators react to these magnificent volumes you're putting in front of them, bro.
I could think of a place where he can come showcase that kind of stuff. I'm just saying. I know a couple people that would be interested. Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. We got Pete saying that he hopes that Rick is at NYCC. He's doing a signing at Midtown. Dude, let me tell you. Again, like one of the best creator interactions I've ever had, man. And I hope that every single one is exactly the way that I had it. But if you have an opportunity, go talk to him. Like it's worthwhile. It's really a good experience. Let's see here. Yes, thank you, Bob. Thank you. Yeah. Appreciate that.
Hell yeah.
Omega asking, is that the Daniel Acuna Escape cover? Yes, it is. He's had a couple store exclusive versions that have come out though, and there's some similar ones. Like he had the Giant Generator exclusive, which did I order that after meeting Rick Remender? Yeah, I did. So whatever, don't judge me. I got multiple copies of Escape #1 now, and yeah, that's my thing. Nick's trying to win. Yeah, he's trying to win the giveaway that we just don't have tonight, but it's okay. Keep throwing that hashtag out there. That's the Mobius, right?
Yeah, that is the Mobius art featured behind me. Correct. As you've seen in several of my videos.
I heard there's a little bit of mythology behind this, maybe.
Just a little. It's my brand.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy making an experience. Nice seeing you, Rob.
What's up, brother?
Blind bags have gone too far, and it's not even really started yet. We're about to get into that. We're going to talk about it here. That being said, you should check out Dynamite's Vampirilla Blind Bag Kickstarter.
Pay the bills, bro. Gotta pay the bills.
I don't even hate it.
Yeah. Good to see you, bro.
Oh, man. We got Robbie also saying, "Don't sleep on Shredder" from Dan Waters.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
Come on. Like, yes, yeah, I'm definitely reading that. It's like, yes, without a shadow of a doubt, man. That's gonna be fun. And finally, we got Near Zero to saying, "We'll probably display those Panosian covers in my library." Thank you so much, dude. Like, thank you. Like, we appreciate each and every one of you being in the chat here. I can't wait until we have the opportunity to do another one of those giveaways here. But like, after the fun that we had doing the last one, I'm anxious to do another one. So I'll say that much. So keep your eyes and ears open, man. But without further ado here, let's dive into it. Let's talk a little bit about these blind bags. So Invincible Battle Beast came out, and it was kind of a big deal. Like, it was kind of a thing, more so than I ever anticipated. Bleeding Cool, this was a couple weeks ago when they put out these, and like there's no numbers are really like 100% anymore because of the way the industry is right now with all the shenanigans. But Battle Beast, based on what they were able to pull, and again, Bleeding Cool, so take it with a grain of salt, sold nearly 400,000 copies of issue #1. In today's landscape, and for a property that doesn't say Spider-Man or Batman, that's wild.
Yeah,
that's
bananas.
It's crazy. And I remember it must have been on an Ink and Insights where I was talking about this, but I remember telling you guys, like, I came into the shop, my personal shop, And I was asking the dude about it. I'm like, because I just wanted to know, like, should I read Battle Beast? Like, is it something that I'm going to have fun with? Because I didn't know, and I've never read Invincible. And he's like, it was good. Like, it's fun. But I got to tell you, I sold like 150 copies within 30 minutes.
Holy
And I'm like,
shit.
whoa. Like,
The 90s again.
I'm doing my Red Fox impression, having a heart attack right there. And like, but that's what we've heard over and over. Like, I mean, I'm lucky enough to have a lot of shops around me. Like, I can kick a stone and I got like 5 shops, that it might hit. And I've heard the same thing across the board. Tons of people are buying these. How many videos? Like, let me ask you, like, how many videos on YouTube did you see of people ripping open their bags?
Yeah, tons.
Tons, right?
Yeah,
like,
sure.
Yeah, it's a thing, right? And it harkens back, like, it makes me think back to the time of the death of Superman, where they had the polybagged version of it. You had to rip open. Heck, same thing with like X-Force, right? Like the X-Force #1 with the polybag with the cards in it and stuff like that.
And like, I love the Shadow, the Bat, like those ones with the collectible art and the card. They would come with trading cards and lenticular art and all sorts of cool, crazy stuff.
Dude, like, while it's not a blind bag, I still think about this like way more regularly than I should. There's an issue of Uncanny X-Men where Ileana Rasputin dies from the legacy virus. And in that, there was a card that if you mail it off, it was like had a perforated edge on it and everything. And if you mail it in, you had a chance to win like the Konami arcade game of X-Men or something like that. And like my better instincts got away from me and I took the card out and like I ripped it. And we kind of talked about this a little bit when we talked about like throwing away comics and not being able to. And as soon as I did that, like this like sense of dread came over me. And like I felt bad about life. I felt bad about like me as a person and the choices I had made up to that point in my life, which was like all of 10 years old. It still haunts me to this day that I did that to a comic book. And like, so that's that's what my feelings towards blind bags. I did not buy a blind bag. I did not buy I didn't buy the blind bag version of Invincible Battle Beast because if I knew that if I ripped that open, I would feel terrible. I would like be beside myself. And now, being the older man that I have, I'm just become more emotional as time has gone on. I'm pretty sure that 10-year-old Eric was like way more, I don't know, stable and emotionally like intelligent than like this version of me right now. I would be in shambles over doing that. Like, what do you think about this?
So wait, so like if you got like an old X-Force #1 with the card in it and all that stuff these days, you couldn't open it?
I don't think I could.
What?
I don't think I could. And
this is like per our conversation last week, bro. Nah, I gotta like I enjoy opening it, and like I just opened one the other day, like Joker's Wild. It was like Robin #3, and it came with like 4 variants of #1 and a card and all that stuff. Yeah, and I opened it up, bro. It was amazing. It was amazing. I loved it.
I'm proud of you, dude, and that's great. You're a better person than me. But I can't. Something feels wrong about it. It would be like ripping a page out of the book or something. I can't do it. I can't do it. It gives me shivers down my spine thinking about doing it.
That's crazy. Why?
It is crazy. I'm a crazy person.
Why? Like, so what about opening it up and taking the card out like as a kid bothered you? Why did you feel like that was the wrong thing to do?
Because it was now not pristine. And I'm not a condition guy. Like, if it's red, if it's a well-read book, I'm cool with it. But if it has been defaced, right? If there is something like defective about it, I can't do it. Because I know that I'm responsible for the action that just took place. It'll never be in as good a condition as it is after my grubby little paws ripped something apart. I don't know.
Yeah, but you feel the same way about the blind bag situation, even not know, like with some of those ones from the 90s, you knew what was in there. You could see through the cellophane or the packaging. With the blind bags, it's a different beast. You're still feel the same way about the blind bag, even not knowing what's.
Yeah, and I blame the death of Superman for this, because the death of Superman was a phenomenon that like reached out past the comic book collecting community. I remember people like parents around my neighborhood when I was growing up buying these things and putting them in Tupperware and sliding them under beds because they were gonna, they were gonna pay for someone's college one day, and we all know how that plays out. But like, it just instilled something in my brain, like, no, don't touch that, don't open it, because it's not for you. It's for the Tupperware, and that's where it goes now. So to that, from that day, because they had the black bag with the bloody Superman symbol where you couldn't see into it, it was not to be opened, period. And that still lives rent free in my brain.
Damn, bro.
I know, I'm broken.
Dude,
Welcome to Notes from the Editors.
Yeah, going on there with that. That's wild. Yeah, I enjoy doing it, man. Like, last year I opened up one of those Ghost Rider, the Spirits of Vengeance or whatever, and it had a badass Adam Kubert poster, little pinup poster with Blaze with the Hellfire shotgun and all that shit. It's just like, I don't know, man. It just takes me right back to that time as a kid, and like the pinup posters. I'm always here for that. I had one with the I might be able to find it during the show. I think it's over there somewhere, but it was like, art where you pull up the page and it turned into this 3D Arkham Asylum. Literally like this pop-up. I think I know
shit. Exactly what you're talking about.
It was freaking incredible, man. Like stuff like that I'm here for all day. So I don't know. I did buy the bond back. I'm not super into the whole, I didn't buy more than one. I just bought one. I will say, man, some of these shop owners, y'all need to give us space. Dude was breathing down my neck to open it right there in front of him. And I felt like almost obligated after the buy. Do you mind opening it in front of me? Like, you don't have to. I just want to see what you get. I'm excited. It's just like, all right, man. Like, but you already put it out there. Now I feel like I got to. So, like, I should have just told him to fuck off. But I didn't. And I opened it in front of him. I did it for this one. I just got one, though. And I got the Kale new 1 in 25 or something, I think.
Okay, I ain't mad.
It was cool, man. I just did it for pure nostalgia connection because it reminds me of the 90s. It's not any deeper than that to me, but it does. I do feel like it's funny because it's exploded, and at the same time, it reminds me of all the speculation and the boom and the buying a ridiculous amount of copies of one thing and love stuff like that, and that definitely has reared its ugly head with this now. So it's like, but dude, at the same time, opening one of these and getting like a sketch cover from Otley or it's super dope. So like I see both sides of the coin, but it is funny how it's kind of like, I don't know. I agree with the homie, only 35% saying it's definitely a slippery slope. I think that's the best way to put it.
It is. Well, and let's talk about that a little bit, because on the heels of Battle Beast selling as many copies as it did, well, guess what happened? We already saw Robbie throw out there that Dynamite's going to be doing the Vampirella blind bags. Well, guess who else is doing it? Marvel announced that they're going to be doing blind bags for Ultimate Endgame. And can you imagine, for a company that's already willing to put out, 50 variants for an issue number 1, I bet that there's going to be a hefty amount of blind bags for Ultimate's Endgame. But that, not to be outdone by Marvel, DC is now doing blind bags for their next event upcoming, DCKO. The big boys learned that Kirkman maybe had tapped into that 90s nostalgia. 80s nostalgia, that's a thing of the past now. We're in the 90s, and it's time for the blind bags to come back, and they are all doing it now. Makes me kind of worried, though. It makes me really kind of worried, because the 90s were a magical time, and I look back fondly on them, and we also know how that story almost ended for the comic book industry. I have a love-hate relationship with all of these companies doing this, because on one side, I can't do this myself. I can't buy them. I can't open them because I'm a damaged human being.
Like you say it like it's some unavoidable thing that's never going to change. Like
it won't.
You need to bring this up in therapy, and we're gonna work through it. We're gonna start chipping away at this. All right.
If you haven't realized by now,
let's put this goal out there. I'm gonna speak it out there. By year's end, we're gonna get E to buy one blind bag, and he's gonna open it live with us on stream, and he's gonna keep the contents of said opened blind bag after he opens it. So that's our year-end goal for 2025.
I didn't agree to this, and I don't like it.
That's fine.
I hate all of this.
That's how all change. That's how all good change starts.
Sure, yeah, by making someone incredibly uncomfortable. But here's the crazy thing too. I can't tell you how many videos I watched of people opening those bags. If you want this guy's view, go open yourself a blind bag, man, because I will be there watching it on repeat to see what your experience was. Like, seriously, I watched so many unbagging like things that people had for these invincible battle beasts. I think I've seen every single cover multiple times at this point, because it was just like rip onto the next cover, rip. Like, if there's a one out there, I've watched your video, and you're welcome, by the way.
So what are your feelings while you're watching the videos?
It's exciting. It's so much fun. And that's the crazy thing. I'm not against it. I just can't do it. Like, I'm living vicariously through other people, and that has to be the experience that I do. Man, okay, and see, Robbie's throwing another thing out here. Oh, hold on. DC's doing blind bags for Batman #1, because why wouldn't you? Yes, because blind bags are back. I think that's what it all comes down to. They're gamifying.
Shout out to Skybound for leading the way on this one. I love it, though. I love that they're trend setting.
Dude, and it makes me think back to like a lot of my feelings on Robert Kirkman. Do all his comics hit for me personally? No, they don't. Like, I think they're all good, but I can't say that they're all like, I can't say that one is like really slap me across the face and be like, dude, this demands your attention. But I love what that dude does for the industry, and I love his attitude, and I love his vibe about like how he perceives success in this industry. I love it. Like, he's done so many cool things for comic shops when it comes to the time during COVID, blind bags, just creating excitement, like just throwing his hat in the ring for picking up all these properties with Transformers and G.I. Joe and Mask and all these kind of things. Like, he generates buzz and excitement for comic books, and like, Lord knows we need it.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, not only that, like the compendium and setting records with raising the amount, like $4.5 million for the Transformers, pulling all that together. I think it's dope.
Yeah.
Like the love that he's showing, the books that came before. Like, he's always had that part of him that always gives homage and reverence to everything that paved the way. So I think it's just seeing the Todd father was obviously dead on when he picked him to be kind of the successor, as it were, at Image, and just the things he's, like you said, that he's doing for the game is incredible, dude. So
yeah,
we got to have in our corner, as it were.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. Like, I don't. So at the end of the day, while I have difficult feelings about all this stuff, man, I gotta say, I don't know, man. Like, it gets me excited. It gets me excited about comics, and I'm already a person that gets excited about comics every single week. So that's pretty cool. Like, you would think that we would get numb to this kind of stuff, being so involved and so ingrained. Like, it's comics are ingrained into our lives. So like, to generate that kind of feeling, it's pretty cool. It's a special thing, regardless of whether or not it's part of your collection. So shout out to Robert Kirkman. Let's see where this goes. Hopefully,
I think it's all positive in the immediate future. If it continues to be a thing and turns into like a speculation game, then it might become something else. But I think for right now, it's going to really help drive numbers and do good things. So.
Yeah, and that becomes a conversation. Is spec good for the comic book industry? I don't think we're going to get into that tonight. Not tonight, but maybe we'll talk about that later on here as well. Let's see what the chat is saying here. We got still only 35. Didn't buy Battle Beast, but ordered 50 of the Mark Spears Monster and Wolf. Yeah, Mark Spears. Like, that makes sense, man. Totally makes sense.
That's a good investment, honestly. You hit the lottery on one of those one of those Mark Spears books, and you could sell it for the right price. Definitely.
I've heard a couple people have done similar things like
Shout out
that.
Robbie. Appreciate you, bro. Good looking, dog.
We got Bob saying, I think blind bags could be great for the hype and word of mouth. Imagine the next D-Dubs book released 2 months early via blind bag, then rolling out a regular run. Don't do that to me, Bob. What do you? I pour my heart out, letting people know that I can't get blind bags, and then you put that thought in my head that there could be a D-Dubs book that maybe I could read 2 months early. That just hurts. Jeez. Let's see.
This is great.
This is not great.
I'm so glad we've uncovered this. I'm just gonna torture you for the rest of the year.
I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't blame you. We got Merc hanging with us, man. Nice seeing you. He said that he pulled a 1 in 25 and a 1 in 50 from the Battle Beast blind bag. That's hard to say, by the way. So that's the one thing I will say. Kirkman, like, don't put the quadruple B there. It's tongue twister. Let's see here. We got Omega saying Batman #1 blind bag might be my first. Okay. If you do, you better put a video out on it, and you better understand that I'll be watching it multiple times.
That's right. We're gonna I'm just gonna like completely violate your privacy and throw your address up at the end of the stream and just encourage everyone to send you blind bags. So like both old books and new. Just
my wife is gonna be like, why are there like 17 boxes full of the Death of Superman at our door?
Oh yeah. Like I was just looking over here at my short boxes. I saw Static #1, like the milestone #1s are all.
Oh my god.
Man, I got so many old goodies in the cellophane.
Oh
yeah. How about all those wizard magazines with the trading card and all the other extra stuff?
Those are magazines. That's different.
Oh, okay.
There's rules. There's rules to this stuff.
Obviously, apparently so.
I can't believe you didn't know
job. That.
All right. Okay, we got Pete saying, I thought it was hysterical seeing someone open up 5 blank covers. That's what I'm saying, though. It was fun. It was exciting watching what people got and seeing like how either hyped or disappointed that they were.
That's so wild.
Oh,
that is hysterical. I would be geeking out.
People say, I'm buying it for the IG, right? Like, you get those blind bags, man. Get them for the clicks,
right?
Yeah. We got Robbie saying spec is good for the industry. Readers are better. Amen, brother. Yes.
Well said.
Omega, how much money are the blind bag variants? I have zero clue, especially for these ones that are coming out here. I would anticipate that they're going to be at a premium. And with Marvel and DC, they're both event books, and they're both from the big 2, which means that they're going to have a higher price tag on them anyway. And then you throw on top of that it's a blind bag. Let me see. Let me see if they're on here.
Well, that's what was dope about. Oh God, what am I doing? $3.99, man, for the Battle Beast. So you can't beat that. I mean,
all right. Let's see if I can find out. Ooh, well, see, now I'm looking at things like the 1 in 1,000 Chip Zdarsky variant, and that okay. I'm getting distracted. Let's see. Blind bag.
You're about to have a breakdown.
It's for real, dude. I don't see any blind bag prices. Oh, here we go. Okay, I take it back.
$7.99 is my guess.
I would have said $8.99. This says $5.99.
Okay.
I hate to say respect for $5.99 as a price point, but I would have.
I mean, when we both were thinking $7 or $8,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There it is. So.
Okay. Well, there you go. Now you all know. Farm me for the clicks. Go get your blind bags. Film yourself.
Send them to Eric. Yep.
No. Just become the next Mr. Beast on YouTube of comic books and just rip those suckers. Just rip bags all day, every day. That's the next goal. All right. Blind bag fad. I'm for it, but I'm trepidatious. Let's talk about Diamond and all of the shenanigans.
Oh, Lord.
Even though I don't necessarily want to, I think it's worth talking about a little bit, and we're gonna treat it like a timeline because there's been a lot of news articles that have been popping off.
One punch after the next, dude.
Yes, and each punch has been right there in the sweet spot too. So we're gonna start off by April's numbers for Diamond Comic Distributor. They were losing $1 to $3 million a week in April. This is after they had already filed for bankruptcy. Sweet Jesus. Okay. On top of that, Graphic Policy had reported that there were numerous requests for discovery that were filed against Diamond in its Chapter 11 bankruptcy filing. For those who don't know about what discovery means, it's basically creditors out there saying, hey, we want more information about you, the assets of your company and the sales tactics and, what is going on, basically. How are you getting the numbers where you're getting? So multiple people, meaning LCSs, meaning publishers, meaning everything, right? They're all asking, I'm sorry, not publishers because that's Diamond, but people like Image, people like Boom, all that kind of stuff. They're basically saying, hey, show me where you're coming up with these numbers because they don't jive with our numbers. We also got Dark Horse Comics joining the consignment group, filing against Diamond. Like, this is now up to, I believe, 4 of the comic book companies that have joined forces now in this, including Dynamite. I know Dynamite was one of them. Now Dark Horse is in it. I think Dark Horse is arguably the biggest name amongst the bunch. Everyone is kind of like going at them. But one person who isn't going after them is going to be Image Comics, who must have made some kind of deal about the backstock of comics. They must have had some kind of settlement agreement in place to say, you can sell these comics. We're not going to be part of this group that's coming after you. You just go ahead and do your thing. You pay us our money and we'll walk away from it.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just capping it off by saying a lot of interesting things.
Yeah, the consignment group has everybody under the sun. Dark Horse, Dynamite, Aspen, Black Mass, Distillery, Heavy Metal, Magnetic, Massive, Oni, Panini UK, Alien Books, Graphic Monday, Titan, and Vault. So like so many of the small guys. And it's interesting to see Distillery in there after they were really hanging with them for, till really late in the game.
They got done dirty.
Yeah, for sure, dude. It's just been really wild how this is all kind of unraveled. From it going to being this, it's just so disheartening for me because of what they did for the industry during COVID and how they really helped comic books survive the pandemic. And it's just like to see it all kind of just break bad this way in the business, and they're not paying people, and they're being, fraudulent or deceptive, during these negotiations or these planned buyouts, and this, that, and the third. It seems like another, like you said, like you've been saying, like another day, another headline. It's been deflating, man, and we're kind of on the other side of it now because so many of these great publishers who put out amazing books, these small indie publishers who we love and talk about all the time, have found, have secured homes to continue to be able to do so and, give us great literature. But, it was touch and go there for a while, man. And we were really wondering, I'm really honestly impressed that as many came through it as they did. I thought we were going to lose. I thought the attrition was going to be way worse, but I'm glad everybody was able to kind of see their way through it. But I know it wasn't easy for a lot of people, a lot of the smaller presses. So I'm glad that they, got together and are fighting back and trying to get what's theirs because, obviously Image secured their deal and got their payment squared away, and Marvel and DC has never really been in that boat. So I hope the little guys get looked after because they took massive hits that they definitely can't afford. as opposed to some of the bigger houses. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man. What it's just what, and like I was looking back today too through some of my old excuse me, my old X-Men magazines, stuff like that as a kid, and like I used to have like Diamond would make like X-Men animation mags and stuff like that where you could put stickers of the stills and stuff like that. It was just like they were such an integral part of the industry for so long. It's just sad to see them and their legacy on this note.
Yeah, it is. It's a weird feeling. Like, I mean, from the time that I had any kind of recollection of what was going on in the industry, Diamond has been a part of it. Like, they haven't been part of it for my entire life, but of the time that I knew about it, it was Diamond. So it's crazy. Like, and to think that, all it took, it was like House of Cards. It very clearly was, because DC, at a time where Diamond had to shut down because of COVID, all it took was DC going and saying, okay, well, we're going to partner with what would become Lunar. And then the distributor that's, I think they folded, the one that was like kind of like done by Midtown Comics. That's all it took. And as soon as that happened, like boom, 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 it just avalanched and everything started falling to the wayside, and their practices became worse and worse and worse. And the people that they worked with became less and less and less. And here we are. Here's what I'll say, though. Before all of this happened, I had to be really wary about what was on my pull list, because I use League of Comic Geeks. And every single time I'd go to the shop, I'd say, okay, well, I'm anticipating, 15 books, and 7 would be there because everything got resolicited and pushed out and changed, and this got delayed. I have not experienced that at all since everyone moved away. So now we got Penguin, we got Lunar. Technically, Diamond still exists for this, that, and the other, right? But like primarily my shop, it just goes Lunar and what did I just say? And Penguin Random House, all right? And just every little thing that I can get from anywhere else. Nothing delayed, nothing redistributed, nothing resolicited because it had to get delayed here outside of what was included with Diamond stuff. That's crazy.
That's awesome.
Well, yeah, it goes to show, maybe we gave too much slack.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, going into I know you remember all those horror stories about accounting with shops and the invoices they would get from them, and just how all over the place their paperwork and their record keeping was. It was just, oh God. So God only knows what the real truth is as far as like some of these companies trying to get down to the financial quick of it, as it were. So,
yeah. Well, and it makes you wonder too. Like, you hear a lot of the stories like, oh, they kept this shop afloat by like, letting giving them a line of credit, if you will, and kind of letting them continue to buy the books and just billing them later for it. Okay, well, were they being a positive force in the comic book industry, or were they an enabler? Were they prolonging the inevitable and kind of keeping things around that maybe shouldn't have been, right? Like, were they a drug dealer giving a free hit, or were they truly trying to give the industry a boost that maybe it needed? Who knows? What we do know is that the end is the end, right? Now it's really just between the comic book, and that's the bad thing, is that LCSs are getting hurt by this, right? Now they're starting to feel the ramifications of the bad practices. If you had credit, like you had to repay them, they're looking for that. If you had books on backstock, they're invoicing you now. They want that freaking money, right? So it just seems like a really dirty, backhanded way that this is all played out. And the bankruptcy courts are just going to try to do their best to try to maneuver and navigate what is clearly a very tumultuous circumstance, because they have all this backstock of books, but they don't. I mean, I guess technically they kind of own them, but if they own them and sell them as an asset, that goes directly back to Diamond and the trustees, as opposed to the publishers of the books and the creators of the books. So basically, long story short, everyone gets screwed from this.
Yeah.
Everyone. And that sucks.
Absolutely. It does. I don't know. I hope everybody gets paid in some type of fair, or see some type of settlement that they're okay with.
Yes.
especially everybody in this consignment group that they form. But I'm glad for them sticking together, and um, yeah, it's again, like, I'm just shocked, and it sucks that an industry standard, really, when it came to comic book distribution, is leaving the game like this. But it is what it is. You reap what you sow, right? So
Yeah. Well, and the silver lining behind all of it is that I feel like a lot of people are probably having the same experience that I've had recently where, hey, books aren't delayed. You have everything that you anticipate every single Wednesday without a shadow of a doubt. You're good to go. You're rolling with your books and you're having a great time with them. If that is your experience, let us know in the chat because I'm very curious. Am I the outlier? Am I just like, do I have this, golden horseshoe of a freaking LCS that gets all their stuff and it's all magic, or is the industry now better? Let us know.
yeah, that's definitely been my experience.
There we go. All right, so we're 2 for 2 so far. Let us know in the chat though. All right, let's move on from the doom and gloom of Diamond because I'm like very honestly so sick of talking about it.
Seriously,
All right, do we go with more doom and gloom and talk about Cadence Comics? I don't think so. Let's go ahead and talk about some upcoming releases. That sound good to you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Let's do it, bro.
All right, here's something that kind of has me excited. DC, similarly to them moving to Lunar and making a big change, DC put out their compact editions of these Hallmark stories. And we always talk about the fact that DC really does it right when it comes to evergreen properties and books that continue to sell over and over. And with the compact editions of these books coming out, they have evergreen stories at a great price point to get people invested in reading. And they're for lack of a better term, manga-sized stories. So it's easy to travel with, easy to read. It's just a good experience to get people invested in reading comics. And that is great. Well, Marvel comes out with their collection doing the same exact thing here, albeit slightly different size, slightly different price point. Idea is still the same. Now, Vault is also saying that they're going to be coming out with their own compact edition of some of their stories, like the Savage Shores and Money Shot, for instance. It seems like this is kind of a new wave of, of excitement when it comes to these. Okay, and you took my question away. What do you think about this? But you love it, right?
I do. Dude, I already got several of the compact, the DC ones. I got Far Sector. I just bought Superman Birthright the other day. What was the other one I had? I forget. The one Nick read. Nick has it too. Kingdom Come. So, yeah, dude, I love them. I think they're fantastic. It's a great way to get, like you said, new readers in the door, and I think I love how they've curated it. The stories they've selected for it. Every time I see one of those titles, it's a book I would pick up and definitely recommend to somebody new. Just reading, trying to get in the game and figure out what comic books is all about, and a good story to start with. So I think they've been fantastic. They're well put together, great price point. I love that Marvel's doing the same thing. Is Marvel's, which one is that called? Because I think I got that Daredevil Born Again was like one of those.
I got that as well. I want to say it's the Premiere edition.
Premiere, yeah. Is it going to be like that? Because it seems like that's kind of the similar vibe.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Well, it's going to be, same kind of deal. So it's going to be the smaller, the smaller size formatting, the entire complete story. So it's going to be more robust than a trade paperback, but smaller in size. Yeah. So same train of thought across the board on all of it. I think that it's a fantastic idea. And Vault, talking about all that Diamond nonsense, Vault was one of those publishers that got hit in a big bad way too. Like it seemed very much like Vault was going to be going by the wayside. And that kind of sucked because they had put out a lot of Hallmark stories from a lot of the creators that I consider really my favorites right now. We talk about Dan Waters, we talk about Ram V, Alex Packnadel. Like a lot of their early work is from Vault, right? So like if they went away and we didn't have the opportunity to get these books in new formats or continue to see them published, that would really suck. So it's cool to see that they have found an avenue to pivot towards and continue to put these out. And I hope that it's a successful measure, because if they can kind of get themselves back to, I don't know, a better footing, that's good for the industry. It's good for the shops. It's good for us. I want to see good books from them.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm
Yeah.
always here for it, man. Like, great collected editions. I mean, some of my most profound, like, moments reading a book have been like collected editions on the road. I can still remember reading Tom King and Miss Jared's Mr. Miracle for the first time, like on the road to Georgia, or Planet Hulk in its entirety. So
Yeah.
Creating and like I said earlier, curating these experiences on these amazing runs and amazing arcs, I think is definitely the way to go. So great to see DC again leading the way here.
DC, like they clearly have, they got their finger on the pulse of what I feel like we want out of the comic book industry, and that's really cool. Let me catch up on the chat here. We've been kind of neglecting them a little bit as we've been talking about this here. We got Robbie dipping out here with the hashtag Diamond Sucks, though. Thanks for hanging with us, man. And I think based on our conversation, we don't disagree. Let's see. We got Homie Brain Podcast Network hanging with us here. As a current TCG player, I can say unequivocally, blind bags will lead to a dark road. I love the ominous tone to that.
Indeed.
Yeah, whatever. A little turmoil never hurt nobody.
Right.
We got Pete number 2 now hanging with us, or is it Pete number 1? I'll let you guys fight over that. Most Dope Comics hanging with us in the chat.
What's up,
nice
brother?
seeing you, man.
Oh yeah.
Got Simpleton saying Lunar is the bomb. You ain't gonna hear an argument out of me. They're the best company that ships comics right now, undamaged. They do it right, double boxing, putting all the securement in there. They're doing good stuff here. Simpleton also saying, been using DCBS since 2022 and haven't missed a book on my pull. And DCBS is one of the companies under the umbrella for Lunar, so that makes total sense. Oh, here Bob's going after the fact-checking aficionado Omega here, making sure that I say the right thing. Takabon sized. Thank you. And hopefully I pronounced that correctly as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We got Omega saying here, my old shop used to use previews for orders, and half the time I didn't get variants I ordered or books that weren't mine. Yep. Yes, I think we've all had those kind of experiences. But new shops use League of Comic Geeks now, and so far no issues in the past couple months. Heck yeah, dude, that's awesome to hear. Especially when you got about when you're looking to get specific variants and stuff like that. Like it's disheartening. Or for a guy like me that gets cover A all the time, I gotta say, when I'm going through my stack of books and like all of a sudden there's a variant that I didn't necessarily want, I'm like, what is this? What is this? This isn't mine.
Because sometimes them cover B's be flat as hell, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And for me, the semi-completionist, I have to go out and get that cover A, but also I feel a guilt complex because my shop got it for me. I'm like, all right, I guess I'll buy this now. Now I'll have 2 copies of it. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Omega showing his excitement for the compact editions here. Dude, seriously,
that's crazy.
For sure, I will be getting these Savage Shores. If they put out other versions of the, if they put out like Coffin Bound, I still need to read, but I want to read very badly. If they have a compact edition, that might be my first experience reading it. Let's see. Bob saying he's got the Compact Joker, Daredevil Born Again, Court of Owls. Great books.
Nice.
Yeah, totally.
Court of Owls is a great buy.
Heck yeah. My shop just started using Comics Hub, and I don't know how I feel about it. I've heard good and bad things about Comics Hub.
What is that, a website?
So I first caught wind of Comic Hub during COVID, because they're a company that I'm trying to remember where they were, and I want to say Australia. I'm probably wrong about that, so don't take me, take it with a grain of salt. They're not within the United States. I know that for sure, though. But they created this POS system for comic book shops, specifically for comic book retail. And one of the things that they wanted to do to keep the comic book industry going during COVID, when books could not be put out, is that they said, hey, buy it through, sign up with Comic Hub. You buy the book. We give you the digital PDF. And when the time is right and books can be sent out to shops and we can all get into shops, your physical copy will be ready for you. That was kind of the pitch. Now, granted, there's a million different pitfalls and speed bumps and a lot of different things that led to that not being a reality, but they were at the forefront of people really trying to think of like, how do we navigate and make sure the comic industry doesn't die? But the silver lining behind that story is that after the diamond of it all happened, a lot of comic shops switched over to Comic Hub. In fact, I would argue there's a good chunk of them. I can think of, I talked about the fact that there's 5 comic shops in my area. I know for a fact that 3 of them use Comic Hub after everything was all said and done. So it's become a pretty popular vendor for a comic book POS system.
Heard that. Thank you for explaining it, bro. Appreciate
that. Of course. Let's see here. Homie Brain saying, yeah, I actually have Far Sector 2. It's a great way for new readers to get the manga piled. Where do I start to complete the story? Yes, exactly. Exactly. You get the entire story. You get it in an incredibly easy way to actually read it. And it's just perfect. It's just fantastic. So it's the way to go. Let's see here. I think I've caught up almost, but I would be remiss if I didn't shout out our bro Fable hanging out with us in the chat. Man.
Brother. Good to see
Great
you.
To
man.
see you.
Oh yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we got Simpleton. Everyone's fact checking me. It's an easy thing to do because my facts are a little bit chicken and egg situation here. DCBS came first. Exactly. You're absolutely right. All right. Moving on to another thing here for upcoming releases. Let's knock out some Marvel stuff that's coming, because I think that there's one thing that's really exciting and a couple things we'll see. We'll start off with a little bit of the smaller stuff here. Doctor Strange is now coming back with his own ongoing series. It's Marvel. Doctor Strange is going to be the official Sorcerer Supreme of Asgard. He had his mini series where he kind of established himself as such. Now he gets an ongoing series where he's going to be teaming up with the character of Angela, created by Neil Gaiman, best known for their involvement in the Spawn universe, but then sold to Marvel and kind of pulled back and has been retconned to be Thor's sister. On top of that, we have Infernal Hulk, which is going to be a soft relaunch from Phil Kennedy Johnson and Nick
Klein gets to miss more deadlines, man. Come on, man. What are we doing over here?
Okay. Well, I think we know our opinions on those 2 books, so let's end it with a bang and let's talk about Jimmy Palmiotti and Dan Panosian, because it's Panosian time. The Punisher. Bringing back the Punisher. We have Ben Percy doing a Red Band Punisher book. This is the one that excites me, though, and I think it's absolutely clear as to why. But this Punisher is going to be part of the World to Come imprint, the thing that Christopher Priest and Joe Quesada are working on right now with their Black Panther story. Jimmy Palmiotti and Dan Panosian are going to be doing a Punisher book set in that landscape, that time frame, and it's promised to be bloody and gory and Frank Castle to the fullest. I really liked Jason Aaron's interpretation of the Punisher, right? I want to put that right there on the forefront. That's not to say that I'm not excited about this, though. Dan Panosian doing covers and interiors of this book and bringing back one of the 2 founders of Marvel Knights, Jimmy Palmiotti, to take over writing reins, where he's been doing other work here over with the property of Harley Quinn. He's been working on his own paper film imprint where he's been kickstarting a lot of books over there. Come on, it's the name Jimmy Palmiotti. If you don't know Jimmy right now, come on, he's comic book royalty. I'm really, really hyped to see what they do with this character. I feel like Jimmy Palmiotti has the right mentality to have a lot of fun writing this character. Yes. Dan is going to kill it. Because we already know.
Incredible.
Doctor Strange, Infernal Hulk, Punisher. Stu, what are your thoughts?
Doctor Strange, I couldn't care less. It just looks like a big old snoozer of a book. And Infernal Hulk just feels like another, turn in this book, and the road that this it's another twist and turn, right? They're going from immortal to infernal, and it's supposed to get more gnarlier. And it's great to see Nick climb back on the book, but we know he's not going to be on that many issues.
Three tops.
And I feel like bringing back the immortal title was a big swing and a miss, man. We it was Philip Kennedy Johnson talking about how he's inspired by the Al Ewing arc and stuff like that, but that I don't know, that story just didn't do it for me. Nick was great. I love his body horror and those some of those splashes, especially I think like issues 6 and 7 of that run where he brought back Ghost Rider from 1944 or something. It was just a ridiculous spotlight for him to really go off. But when that's not happening, it's been lackluster at best, and I don't know. I just don't know. It feels like we're going in circles here, like that, by doing that. So, definitely Punisher is the one I'm most excited for. Been loving all the preview we've gotten from this. I second everything you say about Jimmy and Dan. So that team is the one for me. There's one thing I wanted to bring up. I saw.
Okay, yeah.
They're making a Spider-Punk film.
Okay.
And Daniel Kaluuya is going to have a hand co-writing this thing. I did not realize he voiced Hobie Brown, the Spider-Punk Hobie Brown from the Into the Spider-Verse movie, who was like really the smash hit character, right? The character everybody fell in love with the last one. But yeah, it's dope to see Daniel Kaluuya, who you guys may know as like the main dude from Get Out, or been in.
He was in the Black Panther as well.
Yeah, Black Panther. Been in so many great films, but it's dope to see him kind of co-writing that one. So I thought that was cool. But I don't know about putting the Spider-Punk movie out there when we still are waiting on the.
On part 3?
Spider-Verse. Yeah, I need Spider-Verse first before we get into all that. But anyway, I love Daniel, and that was just cool I just wanted to shout that out. I thought that was a cool little bit of news.
No, that's a great thing to shout out too, because, whatever, maybe this is a hot take, maybe it's not. The Spider-Verse movies are my favorite versions of the Spider-Man character. Both iterations. It's the best Peter Parker. It's the best Miles Morales.
Dude, it's incredible. A true achievement in animation with that last one. I mean, the first one too. I mean, it's just absolutely stunning. I was sitting there in the theater with my jaw on the floor for most of those scenes. I mean, it was just incredible what they pulled off. So I know they had their issues with production and some people weren't happy, and I hope they get all that ironed out and make sure people are credited. But it was incredible. Dude, like the scene when they're interacting and chasing the vulture, and we see all those like little equations appear in the air and then disappear, like little things like that, man. It was a million little micro moments that you just fell in love with. So,
dude, well, and that reminds me of something too, and this is why I'm not mad that the third movie is taking longer than they anticipated, because we got the first one and like no one knew what to expect, and it really set for me the high water mark for an animated movie and for a Spider-Man movie, and maybe just even for a comic book movie. Screw it, I'm gonna say it. I think it's my favorite comic book movie of all time as well. So with the second one, we knew what to anticipate, and I feel like they did just as good. The animation was just as sound. The story still totally hit. Soundtrack, like we haven't even talked about the soundtrack. The soundtrack slaps for both of them.
Crazy.
They're crazy good. And so when it comes to a delay, I'm not mad. Take as much time as you want. Just make sure that the product that we get is at the same tier, the same quality that we got with the first two movies. If you do that, I don't care how long it takes.
Amen.
And that reminds me of something I said to Rick Remender. So one of the things, like my parting thing that I had to say to him when I was getting ready to peace out, I was like, hey, before I leave, man, I just wanted to say thank you for everything that you and Giant Generator do, because like I can't even think of another example within the comic book industry. You and your creative teams make sure that the team that is on the book is the team that finishes the book. The product speaks for itself. Thank you for putting the product first before the deadline and the time frame and the this, that, and the other. Like the end product is what matters. Not everyone can say that. Cough, cough, big two. Um, I really appreciate that approach that Rick Remender and the entirety of Giant Generator. I feel like they do it better than almost anyone. Because yes, they'll have delays, but the final product is always banging every single time. So
Here,
it just
here.
made me remember that, and I was really grateful to be able to express that, because he said he like when I said that, he was like, I think he was taken aback a little bit. He's like, dude, like thank you. Like, it's a big financial undertaking, and it costs more to do it this way. But hearing that makes me feel like we're making the right decision in doing that. And I'm like, dude, yes,
That's
yes,
awesome, bro. That's a beautiful moment. That's what it's all about right there.
yes.
Love that.
So equally with
That's
Spider-Verse,
yeah.
with Spider-Verse, take your time, Lord and Miller. You do your thing, man, because you have my full trust.
But also, hurry the fuck up, bro.
I mean,
I'm just kidding.
we got a couple comments here. We got Bob saying Punisher. Oh yes, absolutely,
Yes.
dude. Yeah, we are stoked for that. We got Simpleton asking, what is the time frame of World to Come? Is it future-ish timeline? Yes and no. They play with time. Like in the Black Panther version, it really does jump to the future, but then kind of goes back to the past to tell parts of the story.
And it's the Marvel Knights world.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like I think they got the message, and they're trying to put out evergreen things. So could it be continuity? Sure, but it's not beholden to continuity. You know what I mean? Like I think it's kind of like that.
Yeah. World to Come is like a pinup book almost. You know?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, especially the approach that Quesada's taking with the artwork and how they're laying it out. Like there's some cool artistic things that are happening there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We got Bob saying, is that Black Panther timeline 10 years in the future like Avengers Twilight, or just an alternate universe? I think yes. So kind of like what I just said here. Like, I think that it's playing it fast and loose, where Avengers Twilight is that continuity? Probably not. It's probably not in the same way that like the Maestro, like the future version of the Hulk, Future Imperfect, is that continuity? Maybe. Who knows, though? We're not there yet. And the thing about Marvel is we'll never get there, so it doesn't matter. But the great thing is that when you play in that kind of landscape, you don't have to worry about it. It immediately becomes out of continuity. And if somebody wants to use it as continuity, they get to pull on that. That's really cool. So, again, I think that Marvel has kind of heard the message, because DC has been doing it over and over incredibly successfully. Now they're playing catch up a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's see here. We got Homie Brain saying, Frank Castle going crazy with the bloodlust in the same universe as a brand new White Panther. This is gonna be sick. Yes. Yes, it is.
It's gonna be so sick.
Yes. Dan, if you're watching, by the way, you already know that that we have Panosian time around here. But if you have any advanced copies and you'd be so willing to to send a copy our way, man, like feel free. Come on the show.
Or blind bags. Any blind bags, he would love that.
Welcome to the E Show. I'm sorry Stu had to leave us. It was nice getting to chat with him while we had the opportunity.
Damn, that's crazy. You dropped like 4 people from the chat once you took your boy off the screen. Oh, look, numbers are back now.
They're back. They're back.
There we go.
I know who brings the money in. We got Rooster saying, "Hey, dudes, Smed just still going." Had a back to school thing, dude. Yes, trust me, we understand that.
Yeah,
I was gonna say we feel that pain, but
we're in the second week over here. We're getting in the rhythm now, but it's an adjustment.
Yes, it is.
Both
yeah,
shows.
Yeah. Dude, the morning routine. It's actually been a little bit. It's been okay. It's been better than what I expected it to be. My kid's doing all right.
Yeah.
All right. All right, moving on to our next stories here. Let's see. Is anything jumping out at you? I got a couple of them I can ping off of here, but did something strike your fancy?
Are we on the re-releases type of?
We're wherever you want to be, man. But let's end it with a banger. Let's find the best of the best. What do you got?
I did like that they're doing the Spider-Man classic newspaper strips. They're putting together a softcover edition of that. Like those are super dope. And I think it's kind of hard as it is to get your hands on, you know, printings of those strips with Stanley and John Romita Sr. as it is. So I think it's cool they're doing a reprint on that, make it softcover, make it affordable, let people get their hands on it because it's super dope, man. Some of those Romita's artwork in that is gorgeous, and you know, that's classic stuff, right? That's, you know, post Ditko where the character really took shape in a lot set
I think it's the golden age of Spider-Man, and like not golden age.
Not that Ditko didn't set basically like everything up, but just, you know, so much with Peter Parker's image, especially with the ladies and all that stuff. So, I love the newspaper stuff. I've always been enamored with that. You know, I read the Sunday Funnies and the paper as a lot as a kid growing up. So like it's always had a special place for me. So this was cool to see for me.
Heck yeah, dude. But like before comics were a thing for me, the comic strips, like the Sunday paper, my grandparents would get it. I would snag that thing before my grandpa had even a chance to read the sports section. And I was looking through the Far Side, through Calvin and Hobbes, through the Garfields and all that kind of stuff. I loved comic strips. And yeah, like it's when I close my eyes and think Spider-Man, John Romita Sr.'s Spider-Man is the first thing that pops in my head. It's the most pure distilled version of that character. So I was stoked for that. I gotta say though, I'm surprised you didn't choose this one. And I think we'll use this as our end cap for the night here. Guys, Rook Exodus returns with a new story arc this October.
Dude, did you see the preview pages?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes, I did.
Right.
For those who don't know, so there's like three universes within the Ghost Machine kind of umbrella that they have out there. We have the unnamed universe, which is Redcoat and Geiger, the first Ghost, which is going to be coming out, and the Northerner and all that jazz. Then we have the Rockefellers doing kind of their thing over here, and then we have Hyde Street. Okay, so let me take it back. We have 4 universes. The other universe is the Rook Exodus universe, where we have our character of Rook, who is was part of this faction, who went to another planet, and they started terraforming this planet because Earth was basically dying and we've used up all its resources. And they use these helmets to be able to telepathically communicate with the animals of their choosing, I guess, based on the helmet that they have access to. So like Rook is able to speak to the birds. We had our character that is able to, the dire wolf, that's able to speak to the wolves. We had our tortoise character. I thought it was going to be cheesy, and I thought it was going to be Power Rangery. Not that Power Rangers are bad, but I thought it was going to be like that. And no, it wasn't. It was so, I don't know. It was so action-packed and so exciting and taken so seriously. And the characterization of all these people were awesome. Jason Fabok, right?
Yep.
Jason Fabok. Okay, I just want to make sure I get the artist right. Wow, dude. Some of the absolute best comic book artwork coming out within, what was it, late 2023, early 2024.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was breathtaking. It was so freaking good. And they've taken a good long time off here because Jason Fabok isn't known to be the timeliest artist, but kind of like what we talked about just with Rick Remender, give a good long runway. They finished the first arc of this story. They're coming back now, hitting the ground running here with our second arc coming out in October. Rook Exodus is back, man, and I am so freaking excited, man. What are your thoughts? What are your feelings on this coming back?
Same, brother. Fabok has killed it. Just such a beautiful line that he has, and he's still consistent, right? He doesn't take a panel off, like you said, and it's just great to get a book that's quality through and through like that. This has been one of my favorites from Ghost Machine. I love the world building in it. It's just vast. Every time you think you've kind of got a corner on it or a beat on it, it just takes it and blows it out, 8 times more, and especially like seeing all the different I forget what they call these. They call these guys who are connected to the animals, but how many different versions there are out there, how many different avatars are basically wearing helmets. Towards the end of the last arc has got me excited to see. We're going to meet Direwolf's father in this, the Bloodhound, the new character. The preview art looked amazing from Fabric, so I'm all in, bro.
Dude, and just, like Rook's journey, too, in that first arc, being the dude that had very, I don't know, distinct feelings about being on this planet and his upbringing influencing kind of the decisions he wanted to make. And knowing that, like, the company who terraformed the planet was, like, kind of bailing on it. I loved seeing the transition from where he started to where he got, and now where he's going to go.
And how, like, his connection with the birds too, how that strengthened and became like to where it was like more surface level, and he wasn't really truly connected to, like, how Direwolf helped him forge something that was really unique. I thought that was fantastic, man. And like the way they do the action and just the character designs, like the Ursal character, the big badass, like, dude, it looks awesome. So I can't wait.
Yes, exactly. So I'm right there with you. I think we're going to go ahead and cap it there. Let's go. I'll give some shout outs to things that are coming out here. That Texas Blood has got some new trade dress for its trade paperbacks that are being released here. So keep an eye open for those. Jacob Phillips, Chris Condon, the covers look fantastic. Keep an eye open for those, because if you know me and Stu, we love that Texas Blood. It's one of the best stories out there. Make sure you check that out. Ed Brubaker and Marcos Martin are coming out with a hardcover version of the Friday series that had come out originally through Panel Syndicate and then released as, shoot, Bob, you told me the size, you told me the name of it, and I already forgot it here. I'm scrolling back up. I was about to say Tamagotchi size, and I'm like, no, don't say it. Don't say that, because that's wrong. Takabon sized. Takabon. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to remember next time, I promise. They have their hardcover of Friday coming out. We have the Ultimate Universe getting a slipcase set for all of the stories that have been within the first year of the Ultimate Universe. So if you have to play catch up, or if you've particularly enjoyed everything happening within the Ultimate Universe here, which I have, I think it's the best stuff that Marvel's putting out. Check out the slipcase for all of the soft covers that are coming out. And finally, something that I had alluded to, Titan is going to be releasing what they call the Tank Girl Motherload slipcase, which essentially is the entirety of the Tank Girl series, with art from people like Jamie Hewlett, from Jim Mafood, Brett Parson, Ashley Wood, all taking on the Tank Girl property. Wow. Tank Girl is a little bit of a blind spot. I know enough to be dangerous, and that's all I got. But this has me really excited, so keep your eyes open for that. But that does it for us tonight. Stu, thank you so much for joining me, man. Make sure you all catch us tomorrow night over on Dr. Doom's Fan Club, where we're going to be doing Ink and Insights proper. Stu, what are we going to be covering? Remind me.
Oh God, you put me on the spot here. Let me go back and look real quick. I know we got absolute softball. we got Absolute Batman on deck. We got Escape #1. We're going to be talking about Rick Remender and Daniel Acuna's new volume, and then I think the third is kind of up for grabs. We're going to talk about a couple different ones, but definitely want to hit on Batman and Robin Year One again. So a lot of Batman is going to be on the plate for tomorrow. But dude, Bats is having a good year between Absolute Year One and Dark Patterns. So not ashamed to talk about him, but yeah, can't wait to talk about Escape #1 as well with you, man, and get your thoughts on that one.
Yes, I'm excited for it. I've just closed the poll, by the way, for the blind bags here, just to give the final stats here.
Where are we at?
We might have more people in my camp than I originally anticipated. 61% of the participants bought 0 blind bags.
Okay, you say your camp like they're all neurotic, like OCDs, like that. They can't. If they open a blind bag, they're gonna, start having seizures. You know what I mean? I feel like that's a gross generalization. Maybe the blind bag just wasn't for them. You know what I mean? But I think
we don't judge here at Ink and Insights, though. Like to throw out labels like that feels a little bit hurtful.
Don't we though?
Maybe we don't right now for this thing.
All right, fair enough. You're right, bro. You're right.
Yes.
I'll let you live your life. My bad.
I appreciate that. Well, everyone that was in the chat with us, thank you so much for hanging. We appreciate it. Everyone that's catching us on the rewind, you're
Thanks,
equally
y'all.
as awesome. Make sure you catch us again tomorrow night. Dr. Doom's Fan Club, Ink and Insights here. We're going to be having a great time talking over all the books from last week here, and we'll catch you tomorrow.
Love y'all. See y'all tomorrow.